Hey guys, thanks for being here. Today I'm just doing a quick video on the Gerber Impromptu Tactical Pen. That's what they call it, and so far I like it a lot. I've had it for about a week. So first off, the thing I liked a lot about this pen is that it's made in the USA. Unlike practically every other tactical pen that's on the market, even if it's designed here, it's typically made in Taiwan or China or something like that, which is fine. They make really good products and they still use high quality materials, but I just like supporting things that are actually made here. So this is made here in Oregon, and this thing is just a beast. I mean, it's a pure steel body, so it's super heavy and solid in a good way. For comparison reasons, the pen I used to carry was the Smith & Wesson M&P tactical pen, and well, as you can see, the Gerber is shorter, and it's also more slim, so it's not as thick as the Smith & Wesson one. But even though it's smaller, it's actually heavier. I don't know the exact ounces, but just from holding them right here, I can say that this one's probably almost twice the weight, if not twice the weight. But the really good thing about that, even though you're thinking, oh, well, I don't want to carry more weight or whatever, but I think in this case it's a good thing because it's still relatively light. It's just not as light as this. And although this is really strong for what it is, because it's made of that 61 aluminum or whatever, so it's strong for what it is, but it's still not going to be as bomb-proof as this thing. I mean, this thing's just a beast. And the nice thing about having the extra weight is if you are needing to use it in a defensive use or to break glass to escape a car or something, having that extra little weight behind it, I think it just really helps out in those type of situations. The last thing I'll say about this though is one of the reasons why I upgraded is because I was getting tired of this thing. As you can see, it just wiggles a bunch, and for some reason it just comes loose and it's not nearly as snug as it used to be. It ends up turning and being loose. Sometimes it comes off, and it always seems to unscrew the pen, and it ends up like this, or it ends up all the way off, and this part is in my pocket, and this part is still hooked on my jeans, but then this part falls into my pocket. So I don't know why it does that. I tried tightening it as tight as I can. I mean, I haven't bothered to try and put Loctite or anything, but it's just weird. I don't think it should do that. I don't know how it comes unscrewed and why this part is so loose and wiggly. Enough about that pen. Got this nice new thing. And as you can see on the back of the box, pocket clip, stainless steel, body material, stainless steel. The ink cartridge, that's another thing that's really cool about this pen compared to any of the other tactical pens, is that the ink cartridge is a Right in the Rain, all weather, all angles ink cartridge. Right in the Rain is a company that they make all weather writing paper and pens and pencils. I've got some in my bug out bag. Anyways, so it's really cool. It's a pressurized ink cartridge, like I said, so you can write at any angle. You can write any weather pretty much, upside down, wet, as long as you have the right paper and you're writing on something that'll take the ink. But yeah, it's really cool. And then the integrated glass breaker, it's just always sticking out. So some people ask if it can actually retract or anything, but it doesn't retract, it doesn't come loose, it's just stuck on there super strong into the pen there, and it's just always sticking out. But it doesn't get in the way when you're writing, because this is a push button pen, like a clicky pen. So when you click it out, the pen actually sticks out further than that. So even if you're writing with that side there, it's not going to get in your way. At least I haven't had any issues with it. And I haven't had any issues with any parts unscrewing in my pocket like this one, like the other one always did. And I was a little concerned about the clicky part of this, if it was actually gonna maybe click in my pocket by itself sometimes, if I'm sitting or moving around certain angles. But I mean, you really got to push it all the way down before it clicks. So it's not really an issue. At least I haven't had it open up in my pocket at all. And even if it did, it's not going to dry out because it's not like it's covered. This type of pen doesn't need to be covered just because of the type of ink cartridge. Oh, when this pen first came out, people were saying that the clicky thing wasn't always working. So they would click it, and I guess sometimes the pen wouldn't come out and they would have to click it again. But this pen's been out for a while, and Gerber's heard that issue, and they've fixed it. And so I never had the original version, like when it was first coming out. So I don't really know how bad it was, but I can say so far on this one, I don't have any issues with it not coming out or not going back in. It works, as you can see, over and over. It works every single time. Anyways, plus I just think it looks really cool, and it just feels high quality. Now, since it is made in the USA, it's a bit pricey. Most of these other pens, like this Smith & Wesson one, you can probably get for around $25 to $35. I think it's somewhere in the $28, $29 range. I just don't really remember, but I think it's around 30 bucks. Then there's some that are cheaper. There's some others that are a little bit more expensive. And then there's some really high-end ones that actually cost several $100s. But this guy, it's still pretty expensive. I think it's normally around $59.99. That's what I got it for. So it wasn't cheap, that's for sure, especially for a pen. But I figured, I'm going to have this pen for years. I had this one for a long time, and it's not nearly as beastly as this. I thought it was worth the price. I'm also a YouTuber, and I enjoy reviewing stuff, so it was worth the money for that as well. But yeah, so it's up to you guys if you want to get one. I definitely think it's worth it. If you're going to have it with you for a long time, and if you use a pen a lot, or if you just want a good defensive tool for when you're traveling, or when you're somewhere where you can't carry a gun, if you're like in certain states where it's really difficult to carry a gun, then this is another good backup weapon. Pens are legal everywhere. I don't know how it would do like through an airport because of that glass breaker that's kind of sticking out. I don't know if that would freak them out or whatever. I like it a lot. I definitely suggest getting one. And this pen has seen a lot of use in the military, so if it can withstand everything that goes on over there, it's definitely good enough for me. And if you guys have any particular experience with this pen, whether you've owned it or used it a lot, just go ahead and let me know in the comments below whether you liked it, or if you didn't like it, or if you just wish you could make some changes to it. I always like hearing other people's opinions and experience with something that I own. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.